have our special guest.
I am Marvin, aka Senior Gunboy.
Woo! Shout out to the AKA, man.
You can find him on YouTube and Instagram. He has some funny skits.
We're pretty lucky because this is our good friend and he's so busy, but he's always here for us.
Thank you guys for having me. You know, I'm curious to see what you guys got are gonna ask me today. I'm a little hot and nervous, but it's alright.
It's gonna be good.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
You're right at home with
Well, we got the drinks popping. So.
Always. Cheers to his busy schedule.
Cheers to that.
Start with a cheers.
Clink, clink. All right.
ASMR people out there.
Guys, by the way, when you cheers, you have to turn the eye.
Right.
You gotta sip it because that's bad luck.
Pinky's out.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes me feel
Pinky's
important.
out.
All right.
Okay, so today's topic is dating and relationships in Toronto.
Everything in between.
Ooh, I keep shivering.
Toronto news, yo. East End versus West End.
Toronto mans ain't shit, yo. These Toronto mans, they ain't serious.
Mirror waist mans.
Like these guys
Mirror waist mans.
Just out here wasting our time, yo. Is that what's going on?
That's basically what we're talking about.
Okay,
That's exactly what it's about.
Is that where we're gonna start?
Like legit.
Because that's not a lie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that is not a lie. I mean, obviously there's some, there's a few exceptions.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've said this before. I've been single for a long time. I've been single like 10 years. I mean, yeah, I've dated people casually.
Do you have anybody for her? Like, is there anybody you can?
Actually, yeah.
I'm still building a personality profile for Nicole.
Okay.
That old.
But we're all
suit.
single though. So if you have someone for any of us, I mean, I'm a harder job because I need a father specifically.
Okay.
But these lovely ladies are single too. They're ready to mingle.
So-
So if you got anybody.
But he knows like all the Toronto mans that I don't want.
What kind of custody do you keep?
That's why
I know a lot of people throughout the city, so I know
He's connected. He's well connected and someone that is for business.
Okay, but I mean, as a Toronto man,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's definitely certain ways to Toronto men, and I think one thing is we have a lot of options in Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto, we are very blessed with beautiful women.
Yep.
Right? There's a lot of beautiful women, a lot of like educated, smart women. And when you go to Zara, for example, and they have so much good stuff, and it's hard for you to pick that thing because they have so much good stuff. I feel that's a little bit of what it is for a Toronto man in Toronto.
Zara?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
It's
a
not
Zara
H&M,
man.
it's a Zara. Okay.
It's a Zara thing, of course.
Okay.
Zara is high quality options, right?
Yeah, so you go in there and you're like, wow, this is nice. This is actually like, shit.
I don't know.
So I feel that's one syndrome
what
like us Toronto men suffer from. We have too many good choices.
Too fortunate.
True.
To a point where they don't know how to act.
The dating privilege.
Privileged dating, yes.
We're going to call it privilege dating.
That's what it is.
But I mean, on the flip side, I also feel, no one fight me. I feel like a lot of Toronto women also feel they're better than thou in a sense. Because I feel like
I was saying that actually.
you guys are high value, but you guys sometimes don't know when to like kind of tone it down a little bit, right? And just recognize that we're all we're all human, we're all trying to date and and be vulnerable.
Okay.
Right? I feel sometimes like you guys aren't vulnerable enough, and it kind of creates this tension between us Toronto people, men and women. But
I never looked at it that way.
So when they say screw face capital, like that's us.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been in the club many times, and a guy comes like, "Yo, why aren't you smiling, yo?" But you guys, I mean, that is the thing. I guess you guys, it's a double-edged sword. If you smile too much, the guys will take it the wrong way and whatever.
Right.
It's an approachability thing. It shows that you're. But again, I haven't been to. I've been outside of Toronto a bit, but. There's a little bit of a stushness when it comes to Toronto, and whether that it's a mix of, I guess, our years of going back and forth. So we all build up this kind of little rigidness and thing, and Toronto is like a big city, but it's also a small city at the same time.
Yeah.
So we all know each other and we're all so connected. So I guess we're all a little bit afraid to let our guard down. I think it's kind of
I agree.
Why we bump heads so much with like Toronto.
Yeah.
Does that
dating.
person know? Okay,
So-
he's too pretty.
You're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you single? How long you been in that relationship now?
2 years, about 2.5 years now.
How long were you single prior to getting in that 2.5 years?
About a year and a half.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience
In that
prior to.
Yeah.
As a single man, Toronto, where
Yeah.
you're trying to scope him
when
out.
you were dating, looking to meet somebody, was it a mindful choice that, you know what, yeah, I'm ready to meet someone now and I'm gonna look for someone? Talk to me about that.
No,
period.
I guess prior to that, I was in a space where I was like, yo, I'm kind of over the, you know, kind of the dramas and, you know, and all these things, and I was really trying to build myself and not talk
you
to
were a
anyone.
hot boy. You still are.
I was trying to I was
Hot
like
ticket.
really like I'm not talk like I was cutting, right?
Okay.
And then when I met my, you know, lovely lady now, it was a thing where I was like, man, I'm really not trying to get involved with anyone, but I'm like, yo, there's something
really
about
like
her.
her.
Like I really like this girl. And I'm like, if I don't, I will probably miss out.
Yeah.
So I you know, I made that choice to be like, all right, let's see where this goes. And I think it was key for me to kind of take that time, because if I didn't, it probably wouldn't have worked out the way it was, because I recognized certain things, because I took that time to kind of grow and really know what I like and what I'm looking for.
I
to
like
say like,
that
yo,
a lot.
like she's good. I rate her.
Yeah.
We should go further. But prior to that, I mean, I'm not gonna say Toronto girls, whatever, but I feel like a lot of times, a lot of girls are boring. Like not to like show anything, but a lot of boring or bland. And
Wow,
just
talk
being
to me about that. Boring in
no,
what
just
way?
being out in the dating scene, I find a lot of
This is
like
great.
like there's boring, because again, like within dating, there's this expectation like a man's kind of supposed to chase and like do all these things. So I feel like a lot of women are
They don't
afraid.
do enough?
They're afraid to like show their personalities and like and they're afraid to kind of like be silly and like really.
Just be
Just be yourself,
Yeah.
because you want to create a certain impression and whatnot. But like, I've always think like you're not trying to get everyone. You're trying to get like a certain someone. So like, just show that person who you are from the get go. And if they're not for you, they're not for you.
I agree.
So I found like
I agree 100%.
like, you know, a lot of times where I would like meet a girl and she seems cool, and why she may not know why it doesn't go further.
Yeah.
But it's because she's just bland and boring.
Can you like? I
And-
want
and-
you to,
and
I
it
want you
doesn't
to
excite me.
elaborate.
Could you elaborate that a little bit?
I want you to elaborate on what that looks like. So you meet someone, you're giving them an opportunity because you said after a while.
Yeah.
What does that look like? Like what does boring look like to you at that point?
It's like talking to them. I'm always like, I always have to bring up the subject matter. I always have to pry. Like they are not asking me in-depth questions about me, about my life, what makes me tick. And it feels kind of like a one-way thing. And
Interesting.
and it's just like,
It's funny. That's what I find. The guys that I meet now, they're not engaging. Like
I find the same thing.
I'm
That's why
pulling it out
I'm
of them.
surprised. I'm so
Yeah.
fascinated to hear this, because I feel like in most of the relationships that I've started, I get bored because I feel like I'm always the one. Like I talk a lot. I mean, that's no secret, right? So I feel like I'm always the one. Like I'm excited to try new things, bring up new subjects, you know, get deep in and understand the person that I'm with. So I don't know if I thought it was a woman thing, that it was like woman-sided and it's the men that are lacking depth. So it's interesting to hear this coming from a man. That this has been your
that's really
experience.
good. Yeah.
I mean, as a dude, like, you know, I'm not gonna speak for all dudes, but for the most part, we can kind of like, you know, we can suck it up, because if you want to get some things and whatnot, like you'll let it ride or whatever. But but after a while, you're just like, man, still here? Like, you know, you kind of like so.
oh my god.
Yeah, and I find a lot of times it's like a lot of I don't know if it's Toronto women or whatnot, but you guys are just too afraid to show who you really are and be open, whether that because you know you've been hurt before, and not even I mean it's that, but you just want to, you know, play the certain role, whatever.
I feel like there's a lot of walls
Yeah.
like being blocked, and there's a lot of this like, I'm not trusting him until he proves himself. I'm not doing this until he does this. I'm not. So to pick back to that, like, do you find that because that's hard, the expectations are just like, okay, you're saying they're one-sided, but when do you decide to just exit? Like, you know, you're starting to talk to somebody, so pretend you're not in a relationship right now. Like, you know, you're dating a girl, it's like, all right, who else am I gonna try? Like how hard do you fight before you're like, all right, I'm out? And then do you tell them? Do they know, or you just
Kind
peace
of
out?
ghost.
It's if they ask, I'll depending on
Who's
the
really
reason. I mean, I'll give you an
Some
example.
people do. A lot of people do.
Yeah, I'll give you an example.
Oh, yeah.
I started to kind of like talk to this girl, we're chilling, whatever, and then we went to a party, right? I took her to a party. I was shooting a party, and I took her to the party, and she was just there, kind of going off by herself and like dancing, doing her thing. Like it was a little excessive. It was a little. I was like, I was like, okay, she's having fun. That's cool. But then there's a situation where she was like on this like elevated thing, and then there's some girls that were behind her or whatever, right? And I think those same group of girls had some friends that were like kind of by me, and the girls were like communicating, and then she thought the girls were saying something to her, and like. And she got upset and was ready to like fight these girls.
Oh my
And I was just like, what is going on? What? And after that, I was like, no, cut.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, that's a
very
valid
like, you know,
reason.
yeah. But there's, I mean, I guess maybe that was extreme, but yeah, I don't know. I guess you kind as you age, you kind of see red flags and things.
Yeah.
Almost right away.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
So
a
how
fact.
is
That's true.
how is the dating pool for you?
How I mean, now it's I don't know, but how was it at the time?
How was it at the time?
No, again, I feel Toronto. Us men in Toronto, we're
We have a
spoiled.
lot of options.
We have a lot of options. There's a lot of beautiful, well educated women in Toronto, right? So
To that point, do you feel like men are also intimidated by that? Like, do you hear a lot of men say they're intimidated because you're saying, okay, you know, we had a guy one time that said, oh, like, you know, women are afraid to approach men, but yet when these men are approached, sometimes they're like, you know what I mean? Like is this weird dynamic that's going on? So like,
I mean, what I've heard like from like, you know, speaking to other males in like, you know, more candid situations and they speak about females is like one aspect I've heard that bland comment like a lot, and I've heard she wasn't domestic enough.
ooh,
She wasn't. I could foresee she wasn't gonna be able to be domestic enough, right?
Okay.
Wow. But again, that could be for a specific
For
man,
that person,
right?
yeah.
A specific man, maybe you're looking for a specific woman.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've heard it a few times. You know, so I mean, that's.
Is it important to you if a woman is domestic, and what does that look like to you then? As a man.
I'm a very kind of now, especially these days, a strong advocate of like, you know, keeping that same energy.
Okay.
So like I don't really expect a woman or my woman to be like cooking every day, cleaning or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we should just play to our strengths. Like, you know, so if my strength is cooking, then I'll probably do a little bit more of that.
Ooh,
You know,
I like how you worded that.
if your strength is invested in stocks, right? Then hey,
That's
do you,
your thing.
right? Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's a partnership, right? So
Yes, I agree.
yeah, gender roles I've really been kind of like really trying, like, just let's keep that same energy like all around.
Yeah.
Kind of pick up where she lacks and vice
Strength
versa.
based.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree
Let's
with that
play
completely.
So I'm asking you guys something, eh? Because I feel like you're trying to guys, you're trying to go on like, you know, you guys are, you know. So explain to me about this American men and Toronto men, because I know as Toronto men we don't like to we ain't buying no drinks, all right? I know you guys love to drink off the Hennessy that you don't buy, right? And when you go
Even
to
if it's half
Miami,
price, even when a bottle is half price,
right? And when you go to Miami, it's all yeah, let's get it. Right? So
Yikes. You know what? I just find that the difference between Americans and Canadian guys is that American guys have more finesse. Like,
Yes.
you guys are
Damn.
kind of, not you, but like the general.
for the general, yeah.
You guys are kind of boring. Like, there's no, like, they have like a gift of gab, so they'll
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
like be super smooth with you, finesse you.
So
I mean-
so they can talk the pantaloons off.
They,
a little
they
more.
can talk the pantaloons off.
Yeah.
and also like when they see what they like, best believe, and
They're hard for
and
it.
they
They're
all kind of
working
have
for
like it's
it.
1 out of 3 that keeps that same energy. So it's not
Yes.
like you're going in a certain city and it's like so different. I'm like, oh, this might hear different. Although some
Yeah.
people in the States will say no, like some of them are also dogs. Like we're not saying they're angels, but however,
Yeah.
the dynamics in pursuing a woman are so different
Yeah.
than
They
Toronto.
cater.
They cater
Yeah.
to you and
They
they
got
love
that old school catering style.
Down southy kind of.
Yes, they
Like,
want to
and
like
they
roll
love
out
it.
the red carpet for
I
you.
want. What can I
They
do
wanna,
for
Take
like,
care
you?
of you. They'll
Let
take
me
care
They
of you.
care of you.
really. It's
But
felt.
but is
It's felt.
is it genuine, or is it just like you are something new and exotic, and at the end of the day they're just really trying
I think
to
it's
smash?
That's a good point. I
But
think
we're
it's a little
still
bit of
new.
both.
We're still new to the men in Toronto when they meet us, and we don't get that type of treatment from Toronto.
And also,
right?
I will say with Toronto, like I wouldn't bash all Toronto men. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
I
some of them
mean-
are trying, but I will say the thing
It's
with
I feel
Toronto.
I feel it's a different factor when you know someone's not from your city. right?
Yeah.
Like as
It's that spark.
yeah,
Yeah.
as like a dude, like just saying, I'm like, yo, I meet like an American girl or whatever thing. I'm like,
True.
oh, you're not
Yeah.
from here. I'm like,
Oh, the accent.
like exactly, like it's a certain like little
your accent
seasoning,
from?
like you know, you get the salt bay on there,
Praise
like, you know,
God.
yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's like that adrenaline. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not used to this. What are you about? So
Yeah.
there's definitely that. But I will say with Toronto, man, I think one thing that bothers me is sometimes when you start talking to them, there's this like first comment where it's just like, oh, I just feel like women in Toronto, you know, they just wanna, you know, they just asking for too much and they could barely do it for themselves. Like they want this man to come and like take care of them and like be their dad. And I was like,
Be their dad.
well, but like not literally be their dad. Like, not
Take care of them
literally-
in that sense.
Yeah.
of,
You know what I meant
yeah,
by
yeah.
that. Like not like because it's like or the same could be said with men. Some men feel like some women feel like okay, well this man wants me to be their mom, like because maybe they like the mom in their upbringing.
Yeah.
So they want that woman that will just come in and take care of them and cater to them and do all
Because
the
they're
things.
spoiled though. That's
It's
why.
because they're spoiled.
Because Toronto guys are spoiled.
I
It's because you guys are spoiled.
Wow,
as
you can't even-
Canadians.
you
So
can't
many
even-
options.
there's a
They
lot
don't
of,
have to
there's
try.
a lot of good options.
Yeah, there's a lot of good options.
So many,
that's
and,
why.
Sir,
Which is
and they
fair.
don't want to try too hard. They like you guys try. Not
They don't
you.
try too hard.
Toronto guys try, and
Because
then
they have so many options.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yo.
Like the American guys that I know, they're just like Toronto has the most beautiful women.
Per capita, we do.
Per capita.
Yeah.
Per capita, we do have a lot.
I hear that all the time, and it's like so when you're working with such large numbers, it's easier to find somebody with compatibility. It's easier to find somebody with someone who's educated and all the other boxes that you want to check in.
Yeah,
and
but
look
it's
for
again,
somebody.
it's
But
it's,
the
it's,
option
it's,
factor?
but it's surface level too, right? Because
Yeah.
we're talking about surface level. But also when you get into like the nitty gritty of things of when you're gonna like, all right, this like you're here with her, but then when it goes to like, all right, am I going to start a relationship? Like, am I gonna build a family with this person? Like then you kind of start to
But
see a
that's
little
what I'm
cracks in the
saying.
Yeah.
But when
in
you
the
have
facade.
more options to work with at the very surface level when it comes to appearance, then you're more likely to run into someone who you know
Who's
you
the
can
same
go
yeah,
through
okay.
with,
Right.
Get a game of
Or the-
numbers.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
and I feel like a lot of them just
Exactly.
know that, so they don't even try hard. So a little
I
bit of
think
like
so.
a little bit of like a
think
frisk
so, too.
in the
They don't try as
relationship.
hard.
Arrogance.
They're like, no, she's a little too hard for me.
It's like whatever.
She's a little too aggressive.
Don't work for it.
I'm gonna holler at her cousin. No,
No facts.
Harry,
We're not that.
that was a joke. That was a
No,
joke.
you know what? Like some really went. Like I had an ex like back in the days. His dad.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I'm connecting this properly. His dad had babies with sisters.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So I guess the kids are also like they're half siblings
Yeah,
and cousins.
cousins at the
That's-
same time.
that's wild.
Crazy.
Like they
right?
couldn't
And like
It's a little
I would be
much.
surprised-
It's a little much.
A little
It's
bit.
Too much.
It's a little
talk about like
That's
family
way too much.
complications.
Yeah.
But
You
a
know?
little bit. But like you made that comment as a joke, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Some
other thing
men are
about what people are willing
nasty.
to accept.
like,
but when
oh.
you're working with options, it's like this is the type of crap that you run into.
Yeah, it's like,
They
oh,
don't
your
wanna
sister's
try.
cuter? Okay, sure. Let's try her. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I went to holler at a friend
Lots of
anyways
effort.
from time. Let me
Exactly,
just slide
from
into
time.
you know.
So I'm gonna swerve for a second. So
Nah,
you're in a relationship.
You guys have your toxic ways too. Come on now.
honestly,
Toxic things.
man,
You
we're
guys-
not
you guys-
denying that.
You guys have your
Alright,
toxic
we're
ways
not
too, like
denying
so
you.
let's not But yeah,
Bash them.
I think with Toronto, like we, again, it's like this love hate relationship.
It
is.
is.
We love to hate each other, but we love each other at the same time. And
Yeah.
if we just kind of just cut the bullshit,
Like, all
and
the
we're
way.
all accountable for our shit. It
All
would
the way.
make things a lot smoother. It would make the
It's
relationship
true. I agree.
with each other better.
I agree.
And I think where we really see the value in Toronto is when we go outside of it, right? Because a lot of us like to talk shit about Toronto, this and that, but at the end of the day, when you land and you're driving on the 409 and you feel
feels
nice.
so good.
It
No,
feels
I
nice.
can't
You're like,
lie.
I'm
It's
home,
so true.
right?
Yeah,
So
it's so
I know
true.
that
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
I know that feeling.
409, you know the feeling exactly. You
I know
land
the
and you
feeling.
drive.
And
Been
you're
away for
just
2 weeks and you
like,
drive out 4 and you're like,
this is a home.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Home has a
Toronto.
different feeling.
Yeah,
for sure.
no.
I'm gonna swerve for a second. So and go back to your relationship that you're currently in right now, right? Do you guys live together?
We do.
Okay, how long have you guys been living together?
It all happened pretty quick.
Really?
That's
Quick?
quick.
No,
That's
prior.
quick. Okay.
We I guess started to talk maybe June. Like we met.
June of what year?
Was it 2018?
Okay, yeah.
I like when a man remembers.
About June 2018.
Do you remember the date?
Give me my points.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a Friday. It was summer. Yeah.
17th is summer nights.
And then yeah, we dated. We just went into it and I think that
soon?
December I suggested we.
You suggested
It was your suggestion?
Yeah.
Shanice.
That
I want to know
No.
what you said to him.
Wait.
She put that extra.
No,
Wow.
it just made sense, and I wasn't trying.
She was there all the time anyway?
Yeah, I was there all the time. She lived on her own, I lived on my own, and
Wow.
yeah, and I was really like, hey, let's go big or go home, right?
Yeah.
Like I was not really trying to, and wait 3 years to see, let's just do this.
You're at an age
And,
now where you can say, like, let's just try it. Let's
Yeah.
be serious about it.
and the vibe was there, everything was good. So yeah, we just, it was-
Wow.
I mean, we love Shanice, man.
So you've been living together now for 2 years.
Yeah.
And what, like, I don't know if men have this idea of comfortability in the same sense that women do, but how long did it take you? Because you guys moved in together fairly quickly, right?
Yeah.
Less than 6 months,
Yeah.
or maybe just at 6
6
months,
months, yeah.
right? Were you comfortable when you first moved in with her? And what
Like
did that
right away?
getting comfortable look like?
Yeah, I was pretty comfortable. Not comfortable enough to be like, hey, you're taking a doo-doo and I'm in here still.
Yeah, you're living
You guys
together.
are
Wow.
I still
Set your boundaries.
So your boundaries, but it felt good. Like I feel you're with the right person when you guys can sit in silence and there's not this like
awkward.
this awkward
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
or you feel forced to speak and converse. It's just like you guys are in your company, you're just nice.
Yeah.
Right? So it was yeah, it was maybe
I feel like
So
Shanice.
what?
I was gonna say, I feel like Shanice is the type of person, like when you're around her, whether she's turned up lit, she just brings this calmness that even if you're like hyper, you're just in a zen. It's like you're high all the
Wow.
time. I feel like I'm at peace.
Yeah.
And you just want to be yourself. Like, it's like she creates this environment where you feel like you want to be yourself. And you have no choice but to be yourself because you will make yourself uncomfortable because she's so comfortable.
She's calm.
And she's so like, it's like this mother nature thing going
and again,
on.
that's what for me what stood out to me with her was that air of comfortability and just like an essence of she knows who she is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right? And that kind of goes back to my point of where I feel like a lot of Toronto women like don't necessarily know who they are.
No.
Yeah.
And like they're bland because they're trying
Talk
to like
about it.
be something like this or fit into something.
Talk
and
about
it's
it.
like
Yeah.
you never really know who this person is, so you can never feel its genuine connection.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and you always have to kind of just leave her at this distance,
Level.
and it's just like it's like all right, well then next.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Right?
that
agree.
makes sense to me. So do
Yeah.
you feel like someone can, in a relationship, be too comfortable? And if so, like, what is too comfortable?
Like sex with a hair bonnet.
No, I feel like
That's very specific. Did you hear that?
What, sex
like,
with a what?
Sex with a hair bonnet.
I feel that's just like that's just life,
You
once
guys
you get
do
to
that?
Yeah.
Does
put the
that keep her
do-rag on,
slow?
like,
Yeah.
take a do-rag off?
No, but did she wear her hat tie?
Are you guys?
I mean, if it happens, I'm not gonna be like, take it off.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. Like, but maybe a goal is to like walk it off, it's like, yeah,
Will you politely take it off
You know?
and pretend you're just getting it?
Hold that, no, but what was the question again?
That went left field because of grades.
Yeah.
I have you know.
Sorry.
I asked a simple question. She had to get specific on it.
I mean, that's really comfortable
like-
for some people.
All I asked was,
Some guys are like, not yet.
like, how comfortable, how long does it take before you're comfortable? And can someone get too comfortable? And if so, what is too comfortable?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
I guess
really?
how long I think it just all depends on the individuals, right? Because
We want to know about you.
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
it wasn't it was pretty from the start.
You're just comfortable.
Yeah, like or just open because like when the actual night we actually interacted and met, I was like we spoke in like a parking lot after. I was like, you know what, like I feel there's something about you, and I'm just like, yo, I pretty much told her my business, like like things that you probably like want to wait for, but I'm like, yo, you know
Wow.
what, like this is who I am. These
Yeah,
are like
she
my
is.
my little things that I think you may not really like, but
Yeah.
I'm just like
Wow.
from Jump Street,
Yeah.
and if you're kind of feeling it too, you take a chance, right? And it's
I like
it
that.
feels good.
Take that
Yeah.
chance, take that risk,
Right?
because you're not trying to play around it.
But too comfortable. I think too comfortable is when you start to take advantage in a sense of like your partner's kindness or and you are just thinking about yourself more and not really. I think that's when you maybe get a little too comfortable.
Okay.
Marvin, I watched a video the other day, and I actually thought it was interesting because it was a couple who were talking on the video.
Yeah.
Why are you so like?
Because I'm like, which video is this stuff? Because I have so
You
many.
probably
I have
didn't
so
see
many
it.
videos. Okay.
But it was an old video. I was watching someone's old videos.
Yeah.
But I was so fascinated because they were talking about the notion of loyalty and how everybody almost by default is like, yeah, I want someone who's loyal. First and foremost, like loyalty is so important. And the woman in the relationship was telling her partner, I don't believe in loyalty. And I don't believe in loyalty because loyal suggests that what was, I forget how she worded it, but she was saying what was, is, and will be.
Will always be. Yeah.
Regardless of what changes along the way. So it's that notion of remaining loyal regardless of what changes and what happens. What do you think about that being in a relationship?
Damn, that's like a
It's I guess at its surface level, of course, we all want partners that are loyal to this relationship, right? But if who you were 5 years ago is not who you are now, right? Who you were like sometimes even 2 weeks ago, like so we also have to, I think, give our partners room to grow and also grow with them, hopefully. And when we get emotions involved, it's a little hard because you don't want to break things away. But sometimes people grow apart, and that loyalty changes, and someone may become like a bad person.
Yeah.
Like who you started with, that person may become a bad person, and you cannot like be down for that or loyal with that anymore, right? Like I mean, start to change the subject. Well, we hear stories of like, some women get with men and they have children, and then these men are doing like stuff with their children. Like how, like you can't stay loyal to that.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Like so like these
I
are
agree.
right. Like
Yeah.
these are it happens. So
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to your
Okay.
point, I feel like loyalty could just be individual based as well too. And I guess like I never looked at it that way, but I like
Me
how
either, until
I
I saw that.
I like
I
how
was
she put that. Like, what are we
It was a
loyal to?
beautiful
Are we
video.
saying loyal to everything, or are we saying loyal based on like our life experiences? Because there's so many people I was loyal to that I never thought I'd cut off.
Yeah.
Like
And
Marvel
then
was
is
at
that
the
really
cutting
being
point.
loyal? And her partner was saying, like, he's like, how do you expect me to be secure in what we have then? And she said, well, for as long as you continue to make me feel the way that you're making me feel.
Damn.
The video was beautiful. I personally loved it. I loved the video because she was saying, like, you can feel secure in what we have because you're continuing to give me what you always gave me. And she's like, I can't guarantee that if you were to change, that I would still be the same person that, I
is
am. And I was like,
wild.
yo,
No,
I
that's
never
honest.
looked at Lord.
I love
way.
that.
I feel like
I rate that.
Yeah,
we
'cause
we
we-
have to
oh.
appreciate honesty. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
like we should just it's hard because I know it's hard because of your emotions, you're invested, and there's all these things. But like when someone is being honest with you,
Yo, I
and
love
like
it.
you should really just cherish and like
And
thank
really
you,
listen
right?
to that.
And just and then make your decisions like like
Based on that.
according to you, what's good for you, right?
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, it's very rare.
Because you can't expect people to think the same way you do. So somebody told me, okay, this may be off topic a little bit. Do you believe in monogamy? I know you're in a relationship right now. But like just as a person.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel humans aren't meant to be monogamous.
You feel like humans are men?
No, humans in general, like men and
They're
women.
not.
I feel like we're not meant to be monogamous.
Oh, not men.
Not-
I thought you said
no.
we are men.
No,
Okay.
we're not.
Okay.
But
okay.
I do believe in monogamy because of
The sacrifice.
the things like family, right? Like
Yeah.
it just gets too messy when you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we need it. Like
You think so?
our human emotions and our insecurities and just the varying amounts of people and their emotional intelligence would not allow all of us to be out here like non-monogamous.
I
Like,
asked that question because I have a girlfriend of mine that doesn't believe in monogamy or doesn't like.
polyamorous. Like one of
She
those
doesn't
ones?
believe in that either.
Okay.
She's not saying that.
What?
Oh, I wanna like. All she thinks is that we put too many expectations of that human being that it's not fair to them to fulfill your needs to an extent. And the way she's looking at it is like, I can never sit here and tell you I'm going to fulfill your needs based on what God has designed. And you can never sit there and tell me you're going to fulfill my needs based on what God designed. And I guess maybe to this woman's point, it's like, until you continue doing what you're doing and it works for me, then it will work. But I'm not about to put a title or facade. And, you know, like, back in the day, like, you know, when I used to be like hopeless romantic, like, I'm gonna get married. What are you talking about? The first time I have sex, for sure. Yeah. And it's like, and you're so excited, and you're just like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm marrying him, and you know, because society has told us that this is what should happen, this is what happens, and then like reality hits you, you know, as you know, you're a teenager, you're going to college, and you're just like, oh my God, like, this is not life. People are so mean. Like, you know, it's
not like it is in the Disney.
It's not like it's in the
Yo, I feel like.
And you start learning the hard way. And when you think about it, like, yeah, people are assholes and it's not right. But really, at the end of the day, we're all just in this planet to just kind of coexist and just figure it out. And I think sometimes we put too much pressures on ourselves and what it's meant to be, without forgetting the fact that, like, whoever you're meeting is also just in their own journey. And you have to respect that and however they think, for as long as they're honest. Like, I think honesty is what misses. And, like, to your point, it's like, no one wants to be real. Let's all just be real in how we feel.
Yeah. It would cut out a lot of bullshit. Like, but it's hard. It's hard. I get it.
I don't know if I could even do that all
the
day.
I know. It's hard.
I would love that. Like, if I could I'm easily able to be honest completely. Yeah. Because I just, like, I've just forever been unapologetically me. Literally since I was a child, like, my family makes jokes. They're like, Nicole doesn't give a F about anything. Like, she is her. And that's literally been me since I was like 10. So I wish I could meet someone where, like, I could communicate with them in a way that I knew we were just being 100% real all the time. It's like, it's exhausting to keep up with this thing where you're just constantly pretending and, like,
or like trying to figure out,
living
like,
in a lie.
Did I say the right thing?
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's
Did I overstep?
Yeah. People have too much insecurities for that. That's the
reason why.
But you have to be able to understand when you hear something from someone, you have to understand where it's coming from, do some soul searching, talk about it, and move past it. But I think people, it's just way too easy. People want to go the easy way
and then
out,
the easy route too,
and just lie about it. And they figure, okay, well, what's the point of addressing it? I know people who really do avoid confrontation at all costs, right? And then that's the problem when it comes to relationships. For sure.
I agree.
Totally guilty of that.
Can I ask a question?
You avoid. I want to hear Corinne's point.
No, I avoid confrontation. Like,
you're one of those people.
How come?
Well, like, no drama. I avoid drama.
But drama in what sense?
Confrontation. If say I were to feel some type of way or feel bothered, I'll speak on it. But any type of drama, like, I avoid it at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that type of confrontation I avoid.
Oh, okay. But in a relationship, you guys have to really talk about the nitty-gritty. You'll get into it?
Yeah. Okay. So when dating and whatnot, right? You said some real things to her in the parking lot. I don't know what was said. I don't know if I'll ever know.
Because definitely, it's sticking.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Shanice,
but what do you think about, like, women in Toronto, and especially when you're single? Do you find that there's a lot of gold diggers that you encountered in dating?
No, I not really, because I mean, I don't, like, try to, like, attract women with money and things like that, right? Like, I'm not putting out that energy.
Yeah, you're
so I feel like I don't attract those type of women.
Yeah.
I have never really been around those women too much. I mean, I feel like I can guess and see it, like, I can see it, but, you know, it is what it is. Like,
that was never.
Yeah, it's just I just don't. That's not my thing. Like,
No.
I'd rather, like, a woman with a good personality versus, like, I gotta get a baddie to have on my arm to impress these niggas that I don't fucking know. Like that's not my style, right? Like, so
Yeah, you seem like you want a nice wholesome woman.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the way Marvin scored, sometimes I'm looking and I'm like, how did he get so lucky? No offense, Marvin.
No offense.
Deserve her. Yeah. But sometimes I've been looking at her and I'm like, yo, she's a hole. Like, you know,
I like her. I only met her I've
On
seen her
Zoom
twice
calls.
now. No, not even a Zoom call. I just saw her one time, and I was like, oh, I love her. Like,
She's so
I didn't even know her like that, but her
chill.
energy is just, it really came across to me as pure.
Very
You know what I mean?
pure.
And I love
You guys
that.
see what I'm saying? Though?
Like,
We
very
love her too.
pure.
We're all on the same
You guys
page.
feel
We
the
all
same.
love her.
Fans.
Also, like, you know, I think too, like, she seems like she's the type of person where listen, I can talk about Shanice because I love her, and like, you guys know when I love somebody, I go off, so I'm gonna try to like hold back.
Don't go off too much.
And I won't go too much. But like, what I like about her the most too is she just will ask you, because she's so comfortable with herself. Like, I feel like she's like a different world. Like, you know when they talk about aliens and we're supposed to be in a different world, but we're just here for a moment and then we're gonna see. I feel like she's there already.
She's elevated.
And it's weird to explain. So
Third
like,
eye's open.
I mean, so she'll be asking you questions that you never thought about. Like, she'll ask you so many questions, but she's not even trying to. That's just the space she's in. And she, you know, you just go back and you be thinking, and you're like, yo, Shanice, like,
Wow.
I couldn't answer that because I was drunk, but you know, now that I'm sober, yeah, she's good. That's all I wanted to talk about her. She's
So
a
I
goodie.
have a question for you
Okay.
guys.
Yes.
Because you know I mix up already.
That's why we
Why
brought
do you have
you
to
in.
lead in with that?
I know.
And I was
Toronto news.
right?
Take a sip for that.
So it was a question that came to mind. I just never, because we've had like, you know, little discussion nights.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
And,
Oh my God. Okay.
Can you wait and let him get out his thing that he
So-
has?
I just remembered something.
So my question is, describe what an orgasm feels like. Because I've never heard this. I see it.
Yo,
I've never heard this.
I'm glad you asked that
Yeah, 'cause
because
I'm
I have a counter question to that.
I'm gonna put a thing.
I'm glad you asked that because I have a
Take
question
off.
for you after.
Okay.
Describe what it feels like.
It's like a rush. I'm sure your orgasms are the same way. It's like
I don't
a
know.
rush.
You get a
I'm not
Caesar?
I'm not a woman.
Get a Caesar?
I feel you guys have better orgasms.
What it feels.
but-
We just have more.
It's like a rush.
We have 20.
It's like this build up of ultimate pleasure that just leads to like this extreme euphoria.
It's crazy.
Like
You
just
don't even feel
I don't
like
know.
you like, it's like you're so vulnerable.
So is it like, you know, when you bang your elbow and your arm goes to sleep? Like, do you feel
Some
that in
like-
your body? Like,
No.
like, you know,
Or like that tingling, I see. Like, okay,
No, I
you
don't
have
feel
no
that.
control of your body to an extent because so much
Yes.
is happening
Mm-hmm.
in like a vibration. Like, is this
The vibration?
Do you guys like?
Yeah, that's some vibration.
You guys
I feel your
shake?
body moving. I shake
Do you
it like
shaking like crazy?
I do.
I've seen some people.
I don't
shake
shake a lot.
Depends on how big-
The first time my guy shook on me, I thought he was having a seizure. So I actually called my girl downstairs.
Oh.
Like, this was over 10 years ago, and he was like,
Whoa.
That was a big
but he did that all the time.
Whoa, like
and
that?
and I will get him like, oh my god, what if I kill him? Like, I was scared because
You're
I
not
didn't know what was
concerned.
happening.
Yeah.
I don't want to laugh because this is
There are
this
some
is-
orgasms that are a lot more
Intense?
intense than others.
Of course, it depends
Yeah.
how, and that's the thing too, which I'm a firm believer in oral and foreplay. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people are just like, oh, I don't, like, I don't think that oral is required or whatever the case is. I just go straight to sex. Some people say, right? So I feel like the more you lead up to it and the longer the more you prolong the foreplay, the better that orgasm is.
You're about,
The stronger
a woman's
it is,
about
the
to come
longer
at
it
least
is.
20 times when the foreplay is like,
Yes.
Do you get a bigger
Up there.
orgasm from head or from intercourse?
a little bit of both.
Okay.
Weird enough when I get fingered the right way.
Really, I hate
I
being
hate
fingered.
being fingered
Don't
too.
even put your
I
fingers in me.
I feel like that's the thing where it's 50-50. I've heard with like women like
Yeah.
some are
Some
like
guys are
sign me up, some are
good
like
at it
don't put
because
those
they're trying
look
to
at dirty Toronto man
Exactly.
fingernail in like
The weird.
Toronto men don't like to cut their fingernails.
clean fingers.
But that's how you know he cares.
No.
If you see their clip, that's how you know he cares.
No, but like,
Yes.
where were your
What's
fingers?
up?
Did you just wash? Like, most times you're not gonna just go freshly wash your hands with soap and then get to it. So it's
Exactly.
like, just don't put your fingers
The
in
COVID
it.
era, they should.
There's all types of, our pH levels, and then you put your fingers. Who knows? It throws off the balance.
It's
No,
different
no,
with the
no,
type
no.
of partner you're with. You're also not just picking up a random person you don't. You know
No,
what I
but
mean?
even
Like, it's
still,
just-
like,
I just don't like
if
fingers.
you and I were to go to it right now, right? You're not gonna go stop just 1 second, Nicole. Like, let's say it came onto you right now. You're going to be like, okay, Nicole, 1 second. Let me just go wash my hands.
But that could be the
you
same
just
thing.
roll with it.
Okay,
You know
but
what I
then
mean?
you
Like,
also, I mean, if you go down, I can't assume that you go down all the time on him. Like, when you suck dick, like, are you thinking, has he bait? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we really controlling here if we're
yeah,
talking
my
about
mouth
like
doesn't
that?
have pH levels that I got to be watching like that. My mouth's not going to...
Dirty still.
But if you're...
A human mouth is dirty. Like,
I know, but like you don't have to worry about like the
Like-
pH levels. You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're not
I don't
like,
think
you
that
got
got
gingivitis in
I've
your
had
lip.
amazing
I don't know.
figuring situations.
Gingivitis.
Yo, there's some dirty
There's
boy here with some those little the white thing on their tongue and thing. You better careful.
No.
There is
Brush
some-
their tongue, eh?
That's part of my foreplay. Anyway, it's like that's an enjoyable part of my foreplay. Like, you know, like and not like fingering where they're just like trying to thrust. You know, they're just no, do not.
Oh my god. Okay, what about
Don't.
fisting?
If somebody does that,
Do you guys
I will slap you.
Okay, but do you guys ever do like fisting?
No. Have you?
No.
Oh.
Oh my god, that looks
You
painful.
can hide your judgment, bro. You can hide those judgy eyes.
Like what?
Oh, like fisting.
Ew.
It's a little much.
I've
Your
seen
boom
it.
boom has to be super like.
I know, like
No.
how does it
Loose and
happen?
big
But
to
yo,
see
I've
the
seen
Malleable.
videos.
Malleable.
I've seen videos and it makes me like weak because I'm just like, how does
Oh,
it
that
even
is
happen? That's too much.
painful.
Okay, so I just want to check.
What
Have you ever
about-
done that before?
It sounds
No.
painful.
Okay, so it's not
What
normal
about
then.
anal though? And you
Oh,
guys
God,
don't
no.
know.
I have, yeah.
Do you
Oh.
get?
I don't like it, no.
Do you get orgasms
Why do you
from?
say it like
I didn't know. I talk about it. I talk to her all the time.
I know, but can you come up?
Yeah, I'm not gonna just like, yeah, so yesterday.
No, but I wanna. Yo, Nicole, yeah.
Yeah, I did like it.
Can you come off an anal though?
No.
Okay.
I don't even like it. It hurts.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's painful.
Yeah, it's painful. Did you ever do it?
I tried.
Did you like it?
I feel like it's like you're like, oh, let me try that. Like, you know, it's like as a dude, like, you know, you'll like there's some like shit. Like you'll just be like, fuck let me just like slap her on her face with my dick. Like, you know, because guys were a little bit like, you know,
Because
silly
they can
sometimes
dance,
and do
yeah.
like dumb shit. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
sometimes you're like, let me just, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those like, yeah.
Got it.
No,
Got
it's too
it.
painful for me.
You
I've
did it
had-
before? And you didn't like it?
No.
Yeah, me
Really?
either.
It's
I don't
too
know.
painful.
Some people like it. I'm just like,
A lot of
what?
people say it's
How?
like a
Like
different
small-
type of.
You have to be dealing with somebody with a small tingling. To
No,
be,
but some
Those are
people
the
like
pinky
they
fingers.
go
Those are
through
pinky fingers.
preparation, like they go through the
just
anal
seems-
stretchers, right? What are they called again? The plugs, the butt plugs.
Those are the best
and they
ones to
stretch.
test.
Like sometimes you stretch it out and then you prepare. But I mean, who's going through all of that just for
Nah.
that?
one and done. I tried it and that's it.
Yeah, I tried it a few
Yeah.
times. I tried to give it a chance, but I was like, no, I'm
Yeah,
not
not
gonna
for
enjoy
me.
this.
It just sounds terrifying.
Can I ask you a question? So I need to ask a man this because
Oh,
we
yeah,
can't
your
answer. We
question.
actually talked about this,
Yeah.
and no one can answer. And I only want you to answer if you're gonna be 100% real with me because I really want to know.
Okay.
So you said you had the experience too, right?
Do what? What
The don't stop thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we've all had this experience. And I don't understand why. When you, especially for me, like if a guy's going down on me, and I'm very like vocal. So I will say, you know, like don't stop or keep doing that or whatever the case might be. Why is it that men almost immediately when you say that, they do something
stop.
different? Like I can understand if we're talking about like penetration, you're having
Yeah,
sex. Like
yeah.
that, maybe that's a little bit different because then you want to do something different. I don't know,
Yeah.
right? But when it comes to like oral, if I specifically and explicitly say don't stop, why every single time I say that they do something different? I don't get it.
Like stay the course.
Yeah, like so you could be going like this, like
Yeah.
licking up and down slowly maybe,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah,
Talk
that
to
feels
them.
amazing. Like
Talk
don't
to them,
stop.
Nicole.
Then they'll be like this, like I just said, don't stop.
Don't
Keep
stop.
doing what you're doing, and then they'll go like circular motion around my clit. Like I just fully said don't stop. So can you please explain that? I find like almost every guy does that.
Oh, okay, I can't answer it from that perspective. I can only answer
Oh.
like from like
Your own-
like penetration, right?
Oh why? Oh
So-
you don't go down.
No, it's I've never been in that situation.
Wait, hold on. So
He's
you're saying
Jamaican.
like you don't go down?
No, it'll happen, but I've never been in a situation where it's
Where
like
you switch?
Where you say
like
don't stop.
yeah, like
No.
And he doesn't stop.
Wait, what situation?
like
where someone said don't stop.
if
and you're
I'm going
going-
down a girl and she's like don't stop.
stop.
And whatever.
Okay, that's
like,
never
it's like
happened.
it's never happened to me,
Okay,
right?
okay.
It's happened where like I'm you know slamming a thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Slamming
not
a
Toronto.
tune.
You know,
Slamming a
slap-
ting.
slap-
Oh gosh.
My Toronto
You can
man
take the
showing.
man out of Toronto, but
Somebody
you can't
cats.
take Toronto out of the man.
Not one.
We out here.
There's certain guys that
Right?
can say it and it's okay.
But yeah, I will be making sweet love and you know, she'd be like, don't stop or whatever. But it may, but I'll have to like switch it up because I may be I'll be going at such a fast pace that I have to slow down. Because you know you want to prolong it, so like as a dude, the faster you go, the faster you will come. Right?
Yeah, right. So that's why the intercourse one is not so like mind blowing to me. Yeah, because I get that one. Like you sometimes it feels so good. Like if you say don't stop, then that's what's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, my speculation on why is maybe he's just like, yo, I'm doing such a good job, like, you know, like like he may think that like, oh, I'm doing this like really good. Let me just hit her with that, you know, the 1-2 move. Like in his mind, he thinks like this is the move, but you're like, nah, this is it. But like in his mind, because you know, men are like kind of not the egos. We're very egotistical, right? Yeah. So you're just like, oh, she's like, I have her in the zone. Let me just hit her with this and hit her with that. You know, the XY. You know, like we're playing video games, XY up down 3 combo, right? So right? Let me hit her with a finisher, right? So I would probably say that's why, right?
Okay.
Like,
oh, you know
I
what?
can see that.
I asked somebody this recently, another man this recently, and he gave the same answer about ego. Remember we asked yesterday?
Yeah.
It was about ego. So maybe that really is it.
Men run on ego, women run on emotions for the most
part.
But
like, how about just following instructions? Because I'm telling you, this feels great.
Men cannot follow instructions.
Men
stop.
are not.
Do not stop.
It's a weak point.
And it's like the minute you say that,
it's a weak point. Men don't follow instructions.
No,
also,
I don't think so. Maybe I have to have this conversation before then. Yeah. Like, hey, listen, when I say don't stop, just really don't stop. Like, I'm not just saying like, oh, don't stop. Like, no, I'm not trying to sound cute. No, I really mean.
She's very passionate about
stop.
this.
Well, I
feel sometimes when I say about don't stop, sometimes I'm like, don't stop. It's okay if you do.
And then I lose it. You know, like
just ruins it. Yeah, ruins it.
And then I don't come anymore. So yeah, of course I'm passionate about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's not what you say; it's how you say it. This really got maybe a little dirty with like, you know. Don't stop, I'm about to come all over this, blah blah. You know, get a little, put a little spice on it. I don't know.
That is even worse because then they're like, oh, like they're just go crazy. Like,
yeah, I guess because we're ego, like, you know, we like our ego show, so that's what they like.
Like you're trying to, your ego points are rising. The more you're talking, and the more you're telling them they're doing a good job. Yeah. So then they're probably thrown off, I would think.
Wow.
Because they're just here trying to be like, yo, I'm doing a good job. Let me test this thing too.
Maybe that's what it is, like that finisher.
If I could test this other thing and it's all working, then I'm about to run this on the streets, you know.
I think
so
that's
what's the solution? Like, what do we do?
I think you gotta have a post game like press conference wrap up.
I can
like, you know, you're good on the jumper there, but you know you can use a little work with the dribble, like, you know. So you gotta be like, hey, last night,
right?
You gotta speak our language, you know. yeah, a lot. You see the thing with I find like, well, not I find, but again, I can't speak for, you know, all guys. I'm just, you know, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? Okay. So it's like, yo, it was great, but honestly, like, I was so close, and when I say don't stop doing that specific thing, don't do it. Don't stop, right? You may have to say it like 3 times, because sometimes we're a little hard of hearing.
Yeah.
But you know, he'll get the point eventually.
Yeah. I feel like after the fact. Okay, in the moment, whatever is different. But after the fact, if you have to tell somebody that, like, sometimes it's like they're just, if you have to tell them 3 times, it
loses its appeal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, don't even do that.
And then on top of that, then you're like stabbing their confidence because, like I said, guys and their ego, it's like, oh God, I'm not doing it right. You know what I mean? Like, it stabs their confidence, and it kind of just like, you know, it changes
again, it's how you say it.
It's just a conversation.
It's just how you say it. I think
during the post game conference, you know,
post-game conference,
super sweet about it.
Yeah.
What did you guys do in the past?
I never was passionate about it like that because they satisfy me in other ways.
Yeah.
So like, you know, sometimes when I'm saying don't stop, sometimes it's just like that sex talking. Like it's just a dirty talk at the moment. I'm just like, don't stop.
Because maybe that's why they're confused because the girl's like, you. No. Be saying it like,
let me tell you why I say it sometimes. Because sometimes it legit is so good and I mean it. Like, don't stop. And then, you know, it is what it is if it stops. Because like at that point, I'll probably have orgasm. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm saying don't stop. But at this point, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, carry on, but don't stop. I mean,
once he hits me with the next combo, then I'll get into the next
situation.
It'll work up again till you know.
Spin it.
Oh, so you like
change
that. Position.
Position.
You know what? I watched another video about that recently too. it was actually by Shannon Boudram.
Oh yeah.
And she was giving men instructions on, or everybody instructions on how to go down on a woman.
Wow.
And that video, it's like a 5-minute long video. You'll highly recommend it. I will make everybody watch this video.
You're putting it in the description box.
Put it like down in the description to that video, because
make your man's watch
that
it.
video I had to reshare that on my story, because she was talking about just that. Like, there's some women who like that. You know how vibrators come in different forms, right?
Yeah.
There, you can switch the setting on it. Some is just like constant vibration. Some is like vibrate.
The Morse code.
Pulse, vibrate. Yeah, the Morse code. Yeah, it will be like pulse, pulse, pulse. The women respond differently to different things. Some people like to build up to their orgasm and then stop, and then build up again, stop. And some people like to just be consistent and constant. And she was saying like, yo, that build up shit's not gonna work for me because I'm constant. And I was like, I get that. Me too. So there's some people who are like that builds up and that works for them. But
I think again, it's just being comfortable with yourself and so comfortable that you can be honest and just open and honest, right? Because again, like there's, I mean, I would say, 10 out of 10 women, if you touch their clit, it feels good, right? But out of that 10, 4 are gonna be like, you gotta go like this. 3 are gonna be like, you gotta, like this. It's really
emotions,
like I feel like your sexual pleasure is like your responsibility. It's really your responsibility. And like, and if you're not open enough to like tell this person, then like you can't really be upset, or you can't really feel the ways like they're not doing right because
they don't know.
But then what about in the case where you're telling them they're just not listening?
Well,
maybe they thought you
have to get with their cousin. I don't know.
Get with their cousin or their brother.
Their cousin is like free.
You're not working out. Next.
On to the next.
Wow. Okay. I'm not mad at that.
So I have another question.
What's your question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't prepare you.
You are a special guest.
Okay.
Ask away.
No biases or other guests.
So as this is a question that I guess I've been pondering a little bit and seeing. I guess we're at a stage now in 2021. Time's flying. Where like our roles as men and women and gender like are really being, I guess, challenged and like we're all asking these questions and I have a question for you ladies. Like, do women actually care about men's emotions when it's like? Because I feel like I have a theory that women actually don't care about men's emotions, and the only time they do is when it pertains to like your own emotions or your own insecurities.
And then they care,
right? And that's when you care. But when it's something like men's struggles and whatever, like you guys don't really care, and it's like just be a man.
So much. No, I care.
That's
a good question, and I'm curious on the broader scale, but I care so much about men's emotions. And I don't know why, but I think it goes in line with the person that I am on being like pro communication, pro understanding, pro respect, all of that. And I want to be understood and I want my emotions to be cared for. So I really reciprocate that. And I care so much. Especially if I'm with somebody, we're in a relationship, like I really want them to be good, happy, secure, all of that. So I know personally I care.
I find that men are so emotionally unavailable. Women are just used to that now. Like that's what we want. Women want to see you guys be emotional with us, but you guys barely even like.
But is there a point where man is too emotional?
I was gonna talk about
there
that.
are the too emotional ones.
I was like, let me be honest. Let me be very.
You can be emotional, but only like so. That's why I say like
to a certain extent.
But you guys don't show nothing at all. So
It's
we're just
true.
like, even when we're trying
Especially
to poke,
black men.
Yeah, black men don't show any emotions.
But
at
here's,
all.
I think to your point though, I have to agree, and I know I'm guilty of it, and I'm working on it. Where Marvin we've had conversations at the house, and they know the type of men I've dabbled into, and I think Shanice may have challenged me with a question. Anyways, so. Here's the thing, like, we want this tough man, you want this man to be tough and like, like be a man, like what up? Like you can't be
and be emotional when it's pertaining to your emotions.
So, and I'm guilty and I've never been challenged that way. And I know this is like very real, like, and and I promised Nicole over here, I'll be very real as much as I can. And I think that I'm one of those women that like, we ask for it, but like when we're answering, we're like, yo, you can't be crying like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say it that way, but I'm just saying like, I'm using that as like a basic example. Obviously, I'm not like a mean person. I'm like the most like care, like You guys
But
know.
in your minds of minds, in your deepest of heart,
Like
you're
if
like,
he shows that to like
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
All the time, yeah.
If he shows her all the time and every day we're
That's
coming
the
home, it's like,
problem.
okay, well, babe. I was like, yo, come on. Like I cry too, but like, come on. I'm like, I'm working on
Yeah,
myself.
I think too emotional is an issue.
You
but-
can't come here
Too
crying all the
emotional?
time. I can't take
Too
care of you.
emotional is the thing.
That's
That's
the
an issue.
But men in a whole, they do not
That's
show any
a
emotions.
good. Like I was triggered on that one.
Yeah, no, we actually want to see that.
I
want to
do.
see that.
I
but-
love when I see a
I
man
think
be
this
vulnerable.
point in my
It's
life,
like,
Yeah.
I don't mind
you grew up with
seeing
me
it.
like that, you know?
But I probably have been that guilty person where when they showed it and
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, honestly.
Grace is like, what are you doing? Karina, this guy's crying. Like,
Karina, like the quick voice
you
notes. I'm
believe
like, yo, we're just talking right now. Tone me off a little bit. Like this guy is crying. I can't use it.
well, I mean,
And I
yeah.
feel like it's things like that don't give men the space and comfortability.
yeah,
I agree.
To be able
And
to
and you know what, like, and I'm guilty of it. And you know what, if a man comes to me and like, and we're very compatible and we're growing a relationship, like, you know, I want us to have prayer walks. I want us to cry sometimes. I want us to show vulnerability because at that point I have let my guard down. And I'm hoping that you're not going to take advantage of that space. So if you reciprocate the energy, it's
Yeah.
only right that I don't take advantage of that space.
Yeah.
But I think in my times when I was say, wow, this guy's so like emotional and available. Really, all I wanted at the time is just for him to hear me and like cater to me and all that stuff. But like, was I ready really to take on his emotional baggage at that time? Because I was so young and I was just newly in dating. I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
I honestly could not say that, and I never like literally looked at it like that. And you know, because like when what we're asking, are we ready to receive it though? Like all these things when we write down, like when we receive it, what does that look like? So you just made me
It's
think.
a question. It's something that I've been seeing a lot, and I just want to put it out there because I feel like, again, in for us to really like get together and like stop the bullshit, we have to
Be
recognize
accountable.
we have to be accountable for our own
Yeah.
like bullshit ways or whatever,
Yes.
right? And I feel like that's one of the things like
Keep it
I don't
real.
know the answer, but my hypothesis is like women don't really care about men's emotions. At the end of the day, they
Really?
don't really care. And the only time they care is when it pertains to
I do.
to them, like
I do.
like fixing their own emotions or insecurities or talking like because they're emotional in a state.
I hate
When
that
it's
you
something,
feel like
yeah.
that. It makes me
Yeah.
sad that you think that.
I feel a lot
feel- yeah.
closer when a man's vulnerable and he opens
I
up
feel
and
like
he
you
shows
could
me
talk
those
about-
little tiny. It could be like a
Because then I
little
feel like I
emotion.
can let my whatever guards exist down
exactly,
as well.
Yeah.
exactly.
Because you've
Yeah.
really shown me yourself at your core.
To an extent.
Because that's a lot.
Grace is
But
like,
that's a lot for a man to do. And
Yeah.
it's a lot for a position.
Let her take baby steps. The first year, okay.
What do you think about baggage and dating?
The first year, let's maybe take our time with all our baggage and what we're dealing with. Like, just like a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to hear about like 5 exes that probably almost beat you up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Boy, I want to hear from Marvin. Like, what do you think about baggage and dating? Like, what kind of baggage is too much?
It's like a crazy stalker ex, right?
That's
Yeah.
too much
That's
baggage
too much.
for you?
That's too much. Like if I mean it's not necessarily too much, but it can be because you are now. You would hope that it stops at some point, but like if it like consistent, like it's a lot. Not too much. Like you can't like too many like kids. That's a lot for me.
How
That's-
many?
too many
let's talk on
kids.
that. How many
oh
kids
my
do you think
God.
is?
How
We
many-
talked about kids.
No, I
No, people
Whoa.
look at kids as baggage. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
no, it's not baggage,
No,
but it's
yeah.
it's
People
like
do.
you have to understand like when you're dating someone with a child, like it's like you are not like letting this person into your life. You're letting like
Family.
everyone into your
It's
life,
a
right?
unit,
So
yeah.
if you're not prepared for that, like don't even like just leave that
Yeah.
person alone. Just don't even bother, right? Because I think like 3.
Three
Like
is too
three,
much.
like three's a
He's
lot.
getting there.
Yo, I had family members tell me straight up, like, yo, I would never date a girl with 2 kids. Like,
Really?
2 kids. A lot of people tell me that.
Yeah, it's
2 kids is a lot. It's a big responsibility.
It's
let's
big,
be
yeah, it's
honest.
up because like you have to like you were now saying that I love you and I'm going to love this like any like right good human being
yeah.
because you can't just like go after this mother or father and then like forget these kids,
Kids,
right?
yeah.
Like as a decent human being you would want to say all right I accept you and I accept you know.
Yeah.
These,
And that takes a
people
higher level
yeah,
of
it takes
love too.
understanding, right?
Yeah.
Too much baggage. I don't know if like they got like a bunch of charges, like if you know, like if this person's like in and out of court all the time, they got a bunch of charges and like you know they're just like a degenerate in society.
Wait, did that ever happen?
No, it's never happened, but like I know some
there, I
like
guess.
you know individuals that like you know that's
go
maybe
through
that's
that.
their thing, but like
Oh man.
like it's a lot. Like I feel
It's a lot.
like at the end of the day we all want peace, like you know peace of mind. Like, it's a lot.
You don't want to be ducking. You don't
like you don't want to be looking over your shoulder, like you know.
At this age, I don't want to meet
You know,
nobody
like
with
boy, I'm gonna
charges.
kick down your
no.
door. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Okay, but let's ask a question. If you meet, say you're not with your partner right now, and like you know, very single, like actively looking,
Yeah.
and you meet your ideal person. This is for everybody, right? You meet the ideal man, like checking every box, and then you find out that he was in the bin for 8 years at one point in his life, and he's trying to clear himself out. But like he, you know. Like, are you still gonna go for it? Like that life is done. Like he's no longer, and you could like
If he did it as like when he was young and he was
Or
maybe
like-
his 20s and stuff like that.
yeah. But 20s is not that far off. Like
I mean,
20 got out when he's
teens
28.
is like.
Yeah,
It honestly depends on the charges.
Right.
Like, did you assault somebody? Did
Right.
you murder
Yeah.
somebody?
Sure,
like,
sure.
you know, if it's like a petty crime, fine.
You're
I
open
can.
to it.
I don't-
Murder.
What's petty?
No.
But murder.
Murder.
I know what you're.
Much.
I know what you're capable of, and you're probably a little bit off.
Those
your
are some
Crazy,
demons
yeah.
that
Murder.
you can never shake.
Yeah.
Sure. And
Yes.
like you know, you just
Like,
like,
That's too much.
a robbery.
If they tried to
Armed
rob
robbery?
Walmart and they got caught because they were like, I'll be like,
What if they? What if it was?
I
Allow
mean,
that.
if you're stealing soup from Walmart, I'm not gonna talk to you because I'm just like.
What if it was
Sometimes
like
it's
a?
tough.
What if it was like a bank or like heavy charges like that, like armed robbery, like you know?
fraud, like those.
And like now they're like multimillionaires, but they cleaned up.
there.
They cleaned up their
Let that
money,
go.
and you know they had to do what they had to
Yeah.
do.
No, I've
It was
heard
a
a lot
one
of.
hit.
I know a lot of success stories where they're like, you know, they
Switch up.
they went through whatever in their 20s.
Yeah.
And they're extremely
They're
successful right now.
So
Of
you're
course.
saying
And they
you'll
have
give
a
them a
family,
chance.
kids, and
Okay.
stuff like that. So yeah, I mean,
All right.
it all depends on like
I know what
the
you're
charge.
saying.
And to you, would you, a woman that like I'm talking armed robbery because some women do that too.
Yeah,
Served 8 years.
Robbery.
It depends on what they went in for. If they went in because like they killed their ex dude. To
That's
the left,
extreme.
You know, it's like I'm not. Yeah,
Killed
like
their
I
ex.
appreciate your honesty, but for me, it's a little too much.
What had happened
wow.
was.
Yeah, like no.
What had happened was.
What? I couldn't sleep. I got the whole time like sleeping, like.
How do you move on from that?
After much consideration.
I could have like,
Yeah.
but yeah, if they like, I don't know, were I'm trying to think like hooked on drugs for a little bit, and they
Right.
like were
Yeah, that's another
like if
vice.
they're hooked on drugs for a little bit, like you know, and then they
You
went
could do
in
that?
and whatever. I'll consider it like cause I feel like you know, so for some people like these drugs and stuff is like a coping mechanism, right?
Right.
What
So
kind of drugs though?
I'm thinking like crack and shit. I'm thinking more like
Like drugs.
Yeah, I'm thinking like drugs, like you know, like
Extreme.
Fentanyl.
yeah, like stuff like that. If like you know like.
Needles.
You know, a traumatic thing like, you know, maybe a parent passed away or like something that,
That they
that
was-
you know,
something
that
that was
they
hard.
tried to cope in it.
Have,
And it just
okay.
like,
has that ever happened to you?
no.
Okay.
Not to my full knowledge. Like maybe they were hiding it on the low, but yeah, like it wasn't, yeah. I didn't see no, I didn't see no one with no tracks in like,
No alleged accusations yet.
I don't
lying
think I
around.
maybe, but
What
That's
if-
a lot because then it's like, you don't know like is that how they've now come to cope with things? So if things go wrong with you guys, are they
Will
gonna
they
what do you call it?
relapse.
Relapse.
Yeah.
Yes. Are they gonna relapse now? It's
Yeah.
like these are things to think about, and then you gotta bear that weight. Like you know what I did, and the guilt that comes with that. Like maybe what I did caused her to relapse or whatever. Like that's a lot.
I have a quick question off topic a little bit. Would you take an ex back? Like speaking of this relationship, would you ever take an ex back? And is there somebody in your life, like, you know, assuming like Shanice is on the picture?
Would I? Yeah, I think. I mean, as a dude, I think. Well, I don't know if it's for like same for ladies, but like you know, as dudes, you know, as we mature and figure ourselves out, like there's times where like you know we're not good, right? We like we have our fuckboy ways and fuckshit ways.
I get that.
Right, you know, it's true. Like accountability, right? If we're all accountable, like
But-
you know, and like there may be someone and you just didn't work out, and it's probably your fault. Like,
Yeah.
so like there's those
okay.
notions of like what if, but I mean everything happens for a reason,
Yeah,
Okay.
right?
I
Like
agree.
so I would be open to explore that and see if now like we
because
are,
I've cleaned up.
you know, like we can work, but I think a lot of times it's more like a fantasy or like what could have been and like, you know, this Disney like.
Oh,
so,
okay. Especially if they're not like the one, like at this point you're just playing with fire kind of thing.
Yeah, but I'm open to it, but like I'm not gonna like lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, I have one more. Like, it's a bit of a deep question. It's not that deep, but like, this is without like being sensitive to people that are alcoholics. But there's some people. this is a good one. But this is like, this happens a lot in relationships where a lot of people, before they met their partners, they had to go to AA, and that was a struggle in their lives at one point. And now they're with you, and they encourage you. They're like, no, you drink, like it's fine, like, you know, but I can't because, you know, this is my new life. Like, do you think you could be with, like, they check everything.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing that they can't do. Like, do you think you could work with that in your partnership?
Yeah.
You could, like
they don't drink alcohol?
they don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, I could deal with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you don't think that will, like, affect...
No, because I mean, yeah, like I would like the only thing that comes to me, like I'd be like, man, I wish you know we can.
If you want to go
wine
next,
and you know, and the
together.
freakiness comes out of her,
You know
like,
what I
cause you know when you get them drink the wine, you go on and especially the right, right? But you know, like as a dude, like you know, like you know,
transport.
like I would think
There's
you
a
know,
song about it.
when a Hennessy hits you, Toronto girls, you know how you go on. But you know, I would have those little moments of like that. But at the end of the day, I care about this person and I know it's for the better. So you know,
You'll sacrifice.
maybe they'll smoke. You know, so, but,
See,
yeah.
I asked
Yeah,
that
you
because
can.
I don't think I could be with someone that doesn't drink, and not that I drink a lot.
You know, I'm joking. We know
Listen,
you love your wine.
I do.
I'm just
And you
joking.
know what? And I love, and you know, people that know me and in my circle, like, this is what I used to do. I deal with wine brokers. I explore wine. I like to travel. I
You're a
love my scotch.
connoisseur.
And I love, you know what I mean? I taste different scotches. I want to understand where the barrels came from. Like, you know, my lifestyle at some
Your
point
lifestyle lends to it, yeah.
will be like, like touring and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't think it would be fair to bring around this person that will just be smelling it.
Yeah.
And like kind of, it's
just like
you're
people who are
keeping
it would kind of like, I don't want somebody who doesn't drink, but I wouldn't say wouldn't. But it would kind of bother me, yeah, because I like to
like
do
a
like
little
winery
bit.
tours and stuff like that. Yeah, it would
Just
kinda
like
bother
people
me.
with that,
Or like
like
go
a
to
vegetarian
whiskey
lifestyle.
classes.
Or
Yeah.
if you're
Oh,
a person who goes to the gym a lot, like it's
Yeah,
a
it's
lifestyle.
a bit of an
lifestyle thing.
inconvenience, yeah, because it's kind of like a lifestyle. Would I if I met somebody who checked off every other box but they didn't drink, I would certainly, yes,
Consider
I
it,
would.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would consider it, but I'd be like, oh, I wish they drank, you know?
Yeah, I don't, you know what? I'll take that L and just
Yeah.
walk away.
Done. Cut.
Yeah?
And not because we can't drink. Like, I just know.
The lifestyle aspect.
I'm also a very excited person. You know what I mean? And like, the only time I really drink is around people.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like, I can't enjoy drinking by myself. I've tried that over quarantine. Like, me of all people. I'm very surprised with myself. And like, I start drinking and it just feels weird.
not the same.
So when I'm around like you guys, I'm like, yes, what do you mean? One bottle only? Like, you know, like I am such a social drinker. So if I'm with a partner, it's something that's not alcoholic, guys, I promise. I'm joking, but like when I'm with my partner, that's something that, like, you know, I want to relax a little bit, you know, like it helps me relax, and I want to have a bubble bath. I want you to be pouring me my wine sometimes, you know, when we're having, like, you know, all these things. So anyways, I just asked that because I know some people will be like, no, I'll actually cut that off because I want to be healthier anyways. And, you know, alcohol is not my thing anymore, but I think we don't have to drink every day. Like, you know, even with my future partner, we'll be taking breaks together. But like when we drink, though, I'm trying to get lit. Like, you know,
You drink the good stuff too, so.
I'll be bringing like good quality stuff. I want us to spend
expensive
money on
things.
like I'm trying to build a wine cellar in my new home. Like, you know what I mean? Like a whole cellar. Like you're walking in and you're selecting a country. Scotch cellar, wine cellar. You know,
Like,
like
just imagine your
my new house.
Yeah.
You guys will,
Party
you know,
stuff, right?
and you know, we'll have a chef. Like, I'm trying to have events at my house. Like, you know, I'm trying to be
I
that
can so
extra.
see that with you.
So imagine like having somebody that doesn't drink. Like, that would be very unfair. Not that they wouldn't support it. I'm sure some people actually, I have friends that don't drink at all. And and they actually stopped drinking. And I admire them, but like whenever I'm around them, they're just like, no, drink. Like, I don't feel away, but those are girlfriends. And it doesn't bother them, doesn't affect them. Like, they're like, no, I'll just smoke my weed over here, you get lit. Like, you know, and we party and I forget that they don't drink until the next day. I just don't know, I don't see that as a partner though. To
So
like,
do you want them
one
to
of those
drink?
things.
Like, some people just don't drink. So would you'd want them to be?
oh, if they're just not drinkers,
Yeah, they're just not
that's
drinkers.
fine.
Okay.
That's different because I feel like, you know,
Yeah, they just don't.
they'll like support me. But I'm talking people that actually have struggled with it and had to go to classes.
Yeah, that'd be different. That'd be hard.
Because it would just be
You'd have so much around
different.
you.
Well, before we wrap it up, before we get carried away talking about wine, we have to quickly talk about the reason I was excited earlier. And I was like, we have to talk about why this started. Why this podcast started. So, remember our first episode and we shouted out Marvin? Nicole's like, what was happening?
Yeah.
Right, guys? So
This is the guy.
This is the
Marvin.
reason, because how it started is Karina and he will invite me every Sundays when quarantine happened. And then I was like, I haven't talked to Karina since college days. Let me invite her to this call. And like, you made our Sunday so lit. And then
So lit.
he will have these questions and we'll be answering on a Zoom call. And then like Marvin was like, no, not this Sunday. And then this other Sunday, I'm like, honestly, I kind of miss him.
Disappeared.
And then and then I was like, no, this gave me back life during quarantine. I'm gonna ask Karina if she wants to continue on. And then we had like a group of like 20, 25 people.
Yeah.
We went away, and then like people started like depending on these calls. Marvin, I don't think you understand.
No,
People were calling and be like,
those calls.
That's the thing. Like
man.
as people, we don't speak enough, and we don't speak candidly enough, right?
True.
And it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of
You
messed
swear.
up that we can't sometimes speak to our closest people as candidly as we can to like acquaintances, like whatever, right? And I think once you kind of like break down the walls and say, hey, we're all here for the same purpose of just unbiased conversation with no judgment. People open up and it's like food to your soul. It's good to release and we need it.
It's great.
Yeah.
it was good. And like when you stopped like Karina, this beautiful like conservative girl, I was like, Karina, do you want to help me ask these questions? Because after some Sundays, like I'll be asking the questions so much, I'm like tired. I don't even be able to participate. So then I was like, Karina, do you mind leading this Sunday? And then she was like, do you mind leading this other Sunday? And then a few people on the call were like, can you guys record these conversations? I learned so much. Like we literally had like about like 10 men on the call, and there was like maybe like 10 other women, and we would go at it like arguments, but like healthy in a way, like literally
For
just
hours.
we would start from until 3 in the morning.
Hours, like good discussion for hours.
And then you leave that call and you're like, I learned so much about myself. Like we gotta go back on Sunday. Like literally it was my agenda to do that every time. So shout out to you, because and then somebody said, Grace, why don't you start a podcast? And then I was like, Karina, do you want to start a podcast? And then we invited Nicole, and you're like, do you want to do a podcast?
Yep.
And then everybody was game. So to you,
Well,
Cheers
to you.
Marvin.
so we
ladies.
just had to
Cheers
shout
to
you
the
out.
formation.
So thank you for starting it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be big one day, and you're gonna come on
One
the
day,
road
you
with
guys
us.
are big already.
Big timers. Big timers. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up at that. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for watching, and thank you so much to Marvin for joining us.
Thank you. That was good,
for sure,
man.
for
That was
sure.
good. That was good.
As always, you already know where to find us. 3-Way with NGK on Instagram. The link in our bio will take you to anywhere you watch your podcast. Also, you can find there our YouTube channel. All right, DM us. Send us in your questions. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Send us questions for the future. And until the next time, 2 weeks from now on
Peace.
Wednesday.
Hey.